see that you can have me and say, but just remember that better days are coming. Friends will leave you all by yourself, but don't cry, cause better days are coming. It's only a season for you going through, but stay focused and never lose sight. I know people, they don't see the hurt you feel inside, but keep on smiling, 'cause everything will be alright.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the Motivator Show alongside Lady Chelsea. Good morning, Lady
Hi.
Chelsea. How are you? How are you?
I have a bit of a cough, but I'm okay. Good morning.
It's a beautiful day here in London. Come on.
Yeah.
It's only the odd cloud. Come on, huh?
Might have trouble speaking today.
Oh, dear me, huh? Oh, dear. All is well,
Sorry.
huh? All is well with you.
Yeah.
So good to see
Yeah,
you.
I'm good. I'm good.
So good to see you again, you know? So let's get the show on the way, because it's going to be a busy show. I'm really pleased that we've got some really exciting people coming on later on. But before I begin, let's get the usual honorific announcements out the way. And that's one, of course, to give praise to the previous pilot, Ian King. I say praise to our Rastafari to you, Ian King, from night to day, the stalwart who comes in early morning, and I say early morning, about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and sees us all the way through to 8 o'clock. Can you imagine? He does that week in and week out. That's dedication for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian King. And of course, important to give announcements to the Galaxy management in recognizing why we are here today. Recognizing, first of all, Chipa Kumbabar, the visionary leader of the Galaxy Radio, and his vision to ensure we have a platform that our people are able to control and communicate our message to the world, not filtered through the BBC or the ITV or the other media platform, but we are in control of the information that's being shared, okay? So I believe that's what's important. So I give praise to Chipa Kumbabar, and of course, Elder Eric Kuti, who I don't see enough or hear enough these days, Abu Ratata, that stalwart who stayed with the station from the beginning. I say to him, praise Jah Rastafari. Nico, the most royal, the most loyal of pilots here. Nico, the most royal, praise be, praise be. And of course, the inspired, solutions maker, finder, Empress Shanice. Always got to say, raise up to her, raise up, thanks to her. Solutions, solutions, solutions. We are in control of our destiny. No matter what anyone says, we are in control of our destinies. You know? Vital that you keep that in mind. We are in control of our destinies. You know? I give praise to all of them. But of course, as Ndidi says, our previous guest, it's not Africa's natural resources where the wealth resides. It's the technology that's where the real wealth is. This station is no different. It's those who command the technology, yeah, who ensure the platform is able to move from one format to another, from FM to digital radio, now to social media, yeah. It's those that keep us going. So I give praise to the engineers that allowed us to be able to transmit today across social platforms, both digital radio, Facebook, YouTube, and indeed it will be extended to other platforms in coming weeks and months. So I give praise to the engineers. Okay. Now, as I think about today's show, I want to give recognition to, first of all, two previous contributors. The first contributor, of course, to the inspired Selina Carty of the Black Poppy Rose campaign. Yeah. An outstanding human being, you know, someone who's, you know, I have to say, I don't mind, you know, I said it at the time. I find such people so, from a spiritual point of view, so completely in harmony, with what we're trying to achieve here, that is to inspire people into action. And don't believe all that propaganda, We create our own reality. And Selina Carty is an example of the very best of us. I say to her, thank you. Always thank you. Yeah, that has got to be the case. So, but I also want to go on and recognize that there have been other contributors to the show. And I'm minded to remember members of the Global African Congress. You know, we talked about their lobby or parliament recently. I want to give praise to the Global African Congress for their absolute determination to deliver on that on our broader objectives. That is, of course, that not only can we define our futures, but in order to define the future, you've all got to get involved, you know? We've all got to do this together. There's an old political saying, we're all in it together, you know? Actually, we are. Yeah. Actually, we are. And we can make the difference, you know? We can make the difference. The Global African Congress is a reminder that we come together, we can make the difference. But I also want to give a big shout out to the Reparations March Committee. The march will, of course, be tomorrow on the 1st of Messiah, starting off from Brixton, okay? And I want to give a big shout out to the Reparations March Committee for their determination to organize an annual march to Parliament for us to have just reparations for the harm caused to our peoples over these centuries. I give praise to the March Committee, and I will definitely be there, marching along brothers and sisters, elders and others, because it's a symbolic experience, you know, spiritually uplifting experience, and one I would encourage as many of those who are listening to participate in, okay? So be there for, I believe, around 11 o'clock on Sunday, okay, in Brixton Square, and from there the march will go on to Parliament Square. Now, if it's not going on to Parliament, I'm sure someone will call in later on and tell us what the route is. I could have it wrong. I know what it should happen, but under these COVID regime, who knows?
That's true.
I'm sure someone will call in later on. So I give praise to the march for their absolute determination. They are a sister brother organization to the Global African Congress. I think that's really important. And of course, I did want to mark, I did speak with Elder Norma.
Oh yeah, how is she?
She is fighting fit.
Good.
as sharp as ever, let me tell you. Okay. And she's recited a number of really interesting experiences that she's had during the week. And
Okay.
it's always good to listen to elders, you know.
Yeah.
Remember, their sole ambition is to impart information, knowledge, wisdom to us younger folks. Yeah? I still call myself younger.
Yeah. No.
What you do laughing at me, huh? Did you laugh?
No, you are. You are. It's fine.
Huh? Huh? Us younger folks,
Mhm.
with the view that will help us in our daily life.
Mhm.
And I wonder, Lady Chelsea, because I talk a lot at this point, I wonder if you want to share any experiences you've had during the week, any particular experiences?
This week. Not really. It's been kind of boring this week. I don't remember anything exciting, unfortunately, to share. I have no idea. I can't remember this week.
No, folks, don't take any notes of her. This is one very highly intelligent, determined
Oh,
person. Yeah?
thank you.
Let me tell you, she's pretending at the moment. Let me tell you, I know.
Oh,
Right? Yeah, I know. Yeah? And you know, I wouldn't have someone here who wasn't determined, highly intelligent, inspired, yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
absolutely driven to do good.
Oh,
I don't mind
thank you.
telling her to her. Give it a
No, I
try now.
appreciate it.
Don't worry, she'll warm up later on. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Needs to wake up a bit.
Lady Chelsea, much appreciation to you. Though.
That's okay.
I'm so pleased you're here and you've been able to continue to be with me on Saturday morning. All right? I'm really appreciative. You know?
You're
It's so
welcome.
important to have someone your generation just to counterbalance some of the.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it now. Us like
Yeah.
about the world and the
Of course.
knowledge and so on. Actually, it's you youngsters who we do all this for, you know?
Yeah.
And
We appreciate it.
make a small contribution to your much wider ambitions. I hope this helps, you know? And I hope your experience here thus far has proven inspirational for you, you know?
Yeah, no, it has. It has.
And I know I haven't spoken to you during the week. That I know
That's
it
fine.
provides some stability, doesn't it? Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
You meet lots of interesting people.
Yeah. No, it's been really nice to like different perspectives, especially older people. I haven't really talked to a lot of older people, hear their perspective of what they're doing. So it's nice to have another view.
There you go. And that's what I'd really hoped. And I know there are other young people listening. I know in the early days they said, "Oh no, this is for oldies." But all we actually talk about is the future. No?
Yeah, that's true.
It's not our future, it's your future. That's all we discuss here. Oh, have I lost you, Lady Chelsea? Oh, Lady Chelsea's frozen for a moment. I'm sure she'll come back in a moment, don't you worry. I'm sure she'll come back. But anyway, me talking about her future. Huh? There you are. Oh, there you are.
Oh,
there you
sorry,
are.
there, hi.
I thought you put me on the whole. I talked about your future.
No, that'd be the worst time. I don't know what happened. It just froze. Sorry.
It's been a bit slow this morning. Okay, and indeed, discussing the future, it summarizes what today's show will entail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, an organization which I found, I'm not going to say by chance, you know, because, you know, as you would have discovered here, because we as Africans, those with African heritage, are highly spiritual people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good generates good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And good is like a magnet for other goodness, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the guests we got coming on later on are just good people.
Mm-hmm.
Are just good people, yeah? And when I saw this title of the organization, and we're going to come to it later on, and we've got some other things to do, but I just want to say this now. Make our leaders foundation.
Mm.
Educate a child, build a nation.
Yeah, sounds good.
That is inspiring, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And individuals who are capable of writing such verses. Not simply writing it, though, Lady Chelsea, of putting it into action.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's the Motivator Show alongside Lady Chelsea, where we translate our words into action.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, great
That's what it
example of that.
represents.
Yeah.
Wow. I look forward to speaking to our guests later on.
Yeah. So
Because these are inspired people. And hopefully what we've had thus far are inspired people. Selina Carty, good example. Global African Congress, Ekan's example. Yeah? Daddy remember the teacher? Yeah?
yes.
Another
Yeah.
Ekan example, you know?
Yeah.
Examples of truly inspired members of our community. Members of our community, I say lamentably, who generally do not receive publicity. Yeah? Remember Professor Hannington of the Rapid Africa program?
Yeah.
Another inspired member of our community, generally not given the publicity that they deserve.
Yeah.
But we're proud to host them here on our platform.
Yeah.
Professor Harrington, I hope he's listening. We wish you, in fact, we don't wish you.
Yeah.
We know we are all going to be successful.
Yeah.
I'll put my hands up in solidarity to him, you know, because it has got to succeed. Failure is not an option. You know? I know there's some people listening and say, well, you know, can I do so much? We could do a great deal, but we just got to be committed for our children's sake, you know? Got to be committed for our children's sake. You know? I even want to big up Tony Sewell. Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? No.
No. It's the way you say it every week.
I'm not concerned about the report. I was concerned about outcomes, recommendations.
Yeah.
And I want to give an announcement that I want to stand alongside him to encourage the government to accept those recommendations. Wouldn't it be fantastic, Lady Chelsea, if he's successful alongside others, that we can have true African history, not Black history, African history in the national curriculum that doesn't show Africans, our ancestors, only from the very, very small piece of time from the period of enslavement, but goes back not 1,000 years, not 2,000 years, not 3,000 years, not 4,000 years, not 5,000 years, not 6,000 years, not 7,000 years, 8,000 years, 9, 10. Go back and look at the entire long history of Africa, the cradle of humankind.
Yeah.
And give true appreciation to our ancestral heritage, our proud heritage. Yes, I know you are Asians, whenever they encountered our monuments, our statues, they destroyed them. Look what they did to the Sphinx, cut off the nose because it was a clear African nose. Look what they did in Egypt. Many of the statues there, they destroyed the noses or destroyed the statues completely. Or the manuscript, they burnt them. In order to wipe out the history. Callous behavior, I must say. Oh my God. Callous behavior. But actually, what they were doing was wiping out a part of human history. Because we are but one species. There is no such thing as race. We are a single species. The idea of race, the concept created by some German as a way of dividing the human family. That's all it is. Our colorations, different slightly here, are all environmental adaptation, the variations in our genealogy that allows us to survive as a species. After all, if we were this close to each other, smallpox would have killed off the entire human species. It's because we've got slight differences, only minute differences, but enough to overcome the maladies. So smallpox didn't destroy human species. Ebola didn't destroy every human, and so on and so on. The plague didn't destroy it. Otherwise, the species would not have survived. That's why we're not immediate close of each other. but we are essentially a single species.
Mm.
Yeah. That what enabled us to survive as a species. Race does not exist. National identities are relatively recent concepts created by ruling families in order to control the minds of those they want to have work for them and to be subservient to them. Important lesson to learn. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why this platform exists, to de-brainwash, as Chief Cumberbatch would proclaim. Yeah. So the truth can be told. And all what I've said is verifiable. It's irrefutable. We are but one single species. Race does not exist. But these are concepts far too many people are not taught as children. Therefore, they believe the propaganda that is given out often. And I want to just turn just for a minute on this coronavirus and this Delta mutation that is circulating. Okay, and I want to remind people: don't listen to some random YouTube personality. I remind people: don't listen to rumors and innuendo. Whoever you trust, whoever has access to your medical records, that's the person to go to for advice how to protect yourself from the coronavirus. That's why I say to people, speak to those who have access to your medical records, who are trained professionals, okay? They're the people to speak to. Don't listen to me. Please don't ask me if I have or haven't taken the vaccine. It's not an appropriate question. What's appropriate? A decision you make based upon your clinical profile. Yeah? You, man, woman, boy, child, have to take responsibility for your clinical well-being. Okay? Really important message I want to communicate, because I've had an interesting series of conversations with my brethren, brothers and sisters. And interesting. Wow, really interesting. And I asked someone the other day, are you prepared to see the mass graves you've seen in Brazil? What's the other? Brazil was the other country that had these mass graves recently. I think it's Indonesia. Or you've seen all the burnings in India, burning bodies en masse, because of the coronavirus. People dying from it. Oh, have I lost you again, Lady Chelsea? I've lost you for a moment. You've come back. And I want to make sure that people understand that coronavirus kills. People die. Yeah? People are dying from it. We don't know who it is, but you've got to make sure of your clinical profile before taking chances. Don't take the chance, I'd say to you, okay? We want you to listen to this show in many weeks, many months, and many years to come. That's selfish? Oh, I don't know. But I say to people, please take responsibility. And before we get to the children's section, I did want to make sure that we give out the appropriate health messages. Really important. I'd like people to consider. I'm not telling you. I want you to consider. I want you to take advice from the real professionals, but nevertheless, I want you to consider the amount of sugar you're ingesting. Do you need additional spoons of sugars in your teas and coffees and other drinks? Or should you be drinking those drinks which are just sugar drinks with fizz added to it in a tin or bottle? Ask yourself that question, okay? Ask yourself the question, do you need to add the additional salt to your foods, Do you really need to do that, And what is the long-term implication of that? Consider the amount of fat you're ingesting, either in meat or in other forms. Foods which are cooked in oil, for example. Yeah. Consider the health impact that will have on you. Not today, not tomorrow, or next week, or next month, or next year, but in 10 years, 20 years' time. Because it has a cumulative effect. And consider, if I may suggest to you, how much water you are consuming each day. It is recommended 2 to 3 liters, but it might be slightly more, slightly or less, depending upon your size and body mass and so on. Again, speak to your doctor, speak to your nutritionist. Okay. I say to people, consider the amount of exercise you take on all day. And exercise is not work, okay? I know some people have physical work, they do that, okay? But actually exercise is where you exercise all your body, not just some of your body. Work, you usually restricted to a certain set of muscles, where exercise, you exercise all your muscles. Yeah, that's the distinct difference. And you generate some sweat occasionally, You're not perspiring, then you're not actually exercising, If your heart isn't above, 80 or 90 beats per minute, then you might probably not exercising, You need to get up above 100 and keep above there for at least 10 minutes or so, Then you're exercising. Your body craves exercise. Particularly here in these countries where we live, our sedentary lifestyle is killing us, actually killing us and shortening our lifespan. And equally important, with all the physical matters I've spoken to, we've also got to consider both our mental and spiritual health as well. That we give ourselves time to, reason in our heads, you understand, huh?
Yeah.
And if you have thoughts which are not, are not healthy, seek out professional help. Again, don't watch any random YouTube or channel person, or listen to someone randomly. No, go and seek out professional help. As regards your spiritual, I say to you, give yourself time, allow all the cares of the world just go over your head, and take in those breaths and allow yourself the opportunity to raise your vibration levels. We, particularly of African heritage, are essentially a spiritual people. That is what all of our culture or our literature and customs and tradition lead to. It raising our spiritual vibrations. So we have one with ourselves, our environment, and beyond. We have no need to destroy. What we want to do is to enhance and find kinship, and alignment. That's the way forward.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the way forward. Okay. That is the way forward. Anyway, I've said enough. I've said enough. But those messages are so essential, so essential to continue to communicate week in and week out. Because it's important for people to take those messages on board, because they'll improve your overall physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. And that has got to be another outcome for shows such as this and others that are on Galaxy and other places.
Yeah.
There you are. How about that, Lady Chelsea? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's really good.
Thank you. Now then, Lady Chelsea, let's go over to you, to young Malachi. Okay.
Yeah,
oh gosh, we haven't spoken to him. No, we haven't spoken to him this week. So that's your responsibility.
Okay.
Okay. And his mother, Sister Segment.
Yeah.
Again, I want to underscore. His mother.
Yeah.
Home teaches his young Malachi, her son. Yeah. Okay. And you remember when he was here, whenever she spoke, he didn't look forward looking at me and you. He looked right up into her mouth, right up into her eye, taking in every word, every sentence. Yeah? Wow. Because you've been inspired by her every word.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that's a true parent, isn't it?
Yeah.
The love was so palatable. Yeah. So palatable. Yeah. Absolutely palatable. I want to say to her, praise Jah, Rastafari. May you always be in happiness. Huh? I'll just say that to his mother. There you are. Hope you're listening or recording, please. I hope she is. Anyway, over to you, Lady Chelsea.
Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to continue the competition, which we've been doing the last couple of months, which is to also kind of promote the book that Malachi wrote, which we always want to praise him for, which was he wrote a book called Tutankhamun, The Tale of the Adventurous Boy King. So we're having it as the prize with the extra £25 for answering correctly the questions that we have each week. So we have 2 questions again. Let me just quickly get that up. So we have questions for under 10s and 11 to 16-year-olds. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to say the number first, just so everyone is like prepared. Then I'll do the questions, and then when everyone is confident and ready, they can come and call in and answer them.
Oh, wow.
So the number to call in is 02 03 481 5240, and then you'll be asked for a PIN number, which is 3707 334397, and that's followed by the hash key.
Let me just emphasize for us oldies, that's the vertical and horizontal line on your keypad, yeah? There you go.
Make it clear.
I think of Arthur Ashe. I know that's a generation ago. Do you remember tennis player? No, we don't remember him. Okay. She doesn't remember him. You've come, you pause again, Lady Chelsea. She will turn to us in a second. We're having problems with our internet, I believe, today.
Oh, hello.
Oh, yeah, we had a problem with our internet. You paused again. We might have to think about where you are.
I don't know why that's happened. Sorry. Okay, cool. So the first question I have is going to be for under 10s. Let me just get the volume up. So, okay.
Question 1. How do you spell Tutankhamun?
So that is, how do you spell Tutankhamun? Cool. Second question is for 11.
You say it so glibly.
Oh,
it's not an easy one, that, you know.
No, I know. I can't spell it myself. Let's be honest. Cannot spell it. The second question, cool, for 11 to 16-year-olds.
Question 9. Who or what did the people of Kemet worship during the time of Tutankhamun?
So that's, who or what did the people of Kemet worship at the time of Tutankhamun?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Right, sorry. Slightly more difficult question, but
that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is a question. Phew. I think we need to speak to him. I need to speak to his mother.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's further testament that, particularly if you're educated here in this country, in Britain, the history, particularly general history, is centered around the British royal family, of course. Okay? Very rarely does it mention royal families of other European nations, and most certainly doesn't discuss royal families across the motherland of Africa. Okay, so that's an interesting issue. And as I said last week, it's possible that we need our own cultural centres. Yeah. Where children can go along and be taught culture, tradition, history. Family history is community's history, and that is clearly the missing component if a child is to have a clear sense of identity.
Yeah.
You hear young people have this question of identity. Who are they? Yeah. And that's not a fault of the child. It's solely the fault of us as the adults not preparing the child to survive in what is essentially a multicultural world.
Yeah.
So you don't have a sense of self, knowledge of self, history, then of course you're going to be somewhat confused.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's to be expected, to be expected. So I say to those who are listening, inspired members of the community, and I know there are quite a few of you listening, maybe that's where we should be investing our money, But the speakers who will come on later will also point to another direction. We definitely got to invest our money because the children are our futures. And, as Eddie, you'll be familiar with the saying, it's preparation, preparation, preparation. It's 9/10 of success. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But I also want to give recognition to a number of personalities who've made really generous contributions to the community. I want to give, first of all, recognition to Stormzy.
Oh, yeah.
What? Why?
Sorry, I wasn't expecting you.
Why? Stormzy, young man. Yeah?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's a rapper. It's a very young
Yeah, no.
style.
He's doing very well. I wasn't expecting that.
But, he gives scholarships to members of the community,
Yeah.
young people. 20,000 to go to Cambridge or Oxford, I believe, but most certainly Cambridge.
Yeah.
£20,000. He's spending millions of his own money.
Yeah. I
in
think a bank is supporting
children,
that as
young
well.
people,
Yeah.
to go to university. Those with the talent to go to this university. Yeah.
Yeah.
And get it on their CV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Millions of his own money to do this.
Yeah. Also the books
I
as well.
give praise to Stormzy.
Yeah.
I want to give praise to someone we don't talk about often here, but I watch as often as possible. That's Lewis Hamilton. Now, the most outstanding British racing car driver ever. He's won the World Championship 7 times.
Oh, really? Didn't know
Wow.
that. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yep, you might hear Sturdy Mossel and Nigel Mansell, but they've only won it less than a handful of times.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times. But Lewis Hamilton, 7 times. He just pledged £20 million
Oh, really? Okay.
to increase diversity in motorsports.
Oh.
£20 million.
Wow. No, that's a lot of money.
Wow. And do you know what happens? And I would invite those who are listening, he's got a race tomorrow. Yeah. If you can watch the race, at the beginning of the race, he takes the knee.
Oh, okay.
He takes the knee.
Mm.
Oh, I give praise to Lewis Hamilton. Absolutely dedicated.
Yeah.
He's a true African. Yeah. Yeah. Dedicated. Yeah. He strives for a true equality of opportunity. In fact, here in Southwark, the borough that I'm in now, one of our previous leaders, I won't call his name. In fact, I'll call his name.
Okay,
Peter
all
John.
right.
I'll call his name. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm proud of him.
Okay.
He's not a member of my community, but he's still inspired. He's a white man, Englishman, and what he strives for is a fairer future for all.
Okay.
And the very first time I heard him conclude that phrase in one of his speeches, I was truly inspired by him. I know he meant it. And the policies we put together over that time have been designed to promote a fairer future for all here in the London Borough of Southwark. I'm proud to be a representative here in the London Borough of Southwark. A Labour representative, I might add. A bit of politics for you. Yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I would just give a good, I'm doing it, gosh.
No, it's fine.
Good
Yeah.
shout out to the past leader of Southwark Council, Councillor Peter John. Hey, strength to you, Peter.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. And there are others I could call, but I had to mention those 3 on this occasion. Stormzy, very impressive. Lewis Hamilton, very impressive. And of course, Councillor Peter John, most certainly outstanding, been transformative for people here in Southwark. Yeah, that's why I'm in local politics. I've got to tell you. Anyway, enough of me. Tell us what you've been doing this past week, Lady Jane.
This week, I'm filling out a lot of application forms.
Oh yes.
Started doing all of those. basically. It's a lot. Like applying for jobs is a job. So yeah, it's just taking more time, questions, videos, all of that. But getting there.
I know
Yeah.
it's tough. Yeah, I know it's tough.
Yeah.
It's very tough. It's a very different market to when I was your age. Very different market.
Yeah, no, definitely. Very annoying.
And of course, I imagine some of these interviews will be using these social media platforms like this, for example. You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
different from my day. You know? So I don't need to wish you luck. I'm very confident because I know you now. Okay.
Okay.
I'm very confident. Don't worry.
All right.
Don't worry,
Thank you.
And you projected very well. You know, you projected very well. So let's, if I may now, just go as wait for our guests to arrive, and they'll be coming in shortly. I want to talk about this, the idea of educating a child to build a nation. Of course, when I say that, I don't obviously mean politics.
Yeah.
What I'm actually saying is about discussing how we ensure, Stormzy's ensuring, for example, that our children receive the best possible education. And you'll notice here in this country, particularly in Britain here, and we talk about others, but most certainly in Britain, that exclusion rate amongst children of African heritage is higher than the national norm.
Yeah.
And when you look at the differential treatment of a child who might have had a little altercation with another child, how they're treated in one instance versus another instance, you can see that our children are being harshly treated. And then, of course, when you look at the assessment of their work, you know, how it's assessed down and not up all too often, therefore undermining our children's social and academic progression. Okay? It's so important that we combat this disease. And let me call it a disease because it starts from the monarch, and I've said this before and I'll keep saying it, setting the tone of what it is to be British. Yeah. Until the monarch says to be British doesn't mean you are white. Doesn't mean you have to be Christian. Until the monarch makes it clear, and until the monarch is a true leader, for all the peoples, not just some of the peoples, this will continue. I say the monarch because the monarch is top the tree. The monarch set the tone. Okay? Because there's no way a classroom practitioner who's trained how to teach children could behave in such a manner. Policemen, another good example. There's no way they could disproportionately seek to harass young men, indeed to a lesser extent young women, if it wasn't deliberate. Yeah. Again, the tone is set by the top, and the protection the top gives policemen, particularly when they behave in the most disreputable fashion.
Yeah, that's true.
It's set by the top. But our community is no more criminal than any other community.
Exactly.
In fact, there's good evidence to suggest that we are less criminal, despite poverty within the community. So it does suggest that in order to be transformative, we've got to be the change makers, and we've got to be an integral part of British society, even though at every step of the way, you will receive some resistance.
Of course,
I know some people don't want to take it on, but you've got no choice. We have no choice. We have no choice. Because we want the world to be better for you, Lady Chelsea. And the children behind us, working profession. We want it to be a better world for them. Because if it's a better world for them, it's most probably a better world for the whole world. The intercommunal tensions are artificial constructs. These are artificial constructs. So what's your view on this subject? I'm just going to, whilst you're speaking, I'm going to just make sure get our guest into the room.
On what exactly? The monarch or just this? I understand where you're coming from. Before, I suppose you said what you said. I may have not said the monarch. I may have maybe said media or government, but I suppose they all influence each other in some kind of way. So I understand why you said the monarch's at the top and everything like that. I hope that one day they'll redefine what being British is, like you said, like being white or Christian, but I don't know whether that will happen. I don't know. I suppose it's important just to the accepting thing and the representing us and other people who are just different from that. Really, I think if that happened, then it wouldn't be much of a problem, because it's not about changing England. You know, it's a white country, and that's fine. It's the discrimination and stopping that, which is, I suppose,
Oh, but
the
Lady
most
Chelsea.
important.
But Lady
Yeah.
Chelsea, hold on,
Yeah.
Lady Chelsea. Really important, because that was an important statement, you see.
Mm.
Cornish man,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
even an Englishman is admitted,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, was a black man. Isn't it? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's a black man.
Well,
Although it's not me making it up.
no, yeah.
They did the genetic printing
Yeah.
and found a Cornish man, the black
Yeah.
man. Now, the challenge for many people here is that, well,
Yeah.
if it was black, then why are they not here now? Now, that is a good question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
I can only say to you, look
Yeah.
at the Native Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the Aboriginals, so-called, in Australia.
Yeah.
Both communities have experienced mass genocide.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that there are no ancient black people living in Britain today, I say ancient deliberately, okay, implies that they've been exposed to some bit of war, yeah. But their bones exist. So the oldest bones in Britain, they're a black man that looks like me.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that remarkable, huh?
Well, yeah.
We say remarkable because of the propaganda we've been taught all this time. And I've got to keep in mind that the English channel is becoming wider, but it's been becoming wider over a few thousand years. It's only a channel.
Yeah.
It's a river, a much larger river, in other words, yeah?
Yeah.
But Britain's an integral part of Asia. It's a single landmass. So most probably, when our people migrated from Africa into this part of Asia, okay, the distance between where we are on Britain, the island of Britain, and the mainland was much shorter. It could have only been a few miles. Do you see?
Yeah.
But the bones, not me saying this.
Yeah, no,
people are telling me.
Yeah. I believe people traveled. Yeah.
There you go. These are the most earliest so-called Britons.
Okay.
And it's a challenge because of the propaganda you're taught. You say, well, that can't be right. No. Actually, this is when you get to the real history of Britain, you'll find that Britain is truly a multicultural environment. What it is to be Britain. Yeah, because you take it in more recent terms of Anglo-Saxons, Saxons, and these are all different peoples who've migrated to these islands. A concept of Britain it's really a derivative of continental Euro-Asian cultures. Do you see? It is a challenge. Maybe what we need to do is get a historian here. Yeah. Someone who studied the subject and can provide some authoritative account of the earliest peoples in Britain, and indeed more contemporary times of our contribution as a community to Britain, to enable it to develop its so-called greatness.
Yeah, because Black people have always been here.
Okay.
The Romans.
But
Like,
I said the propaganda we're all exposed to makes it difficult sometimes. And I know for many English people, Scotch and Welsh people, it's very difficult for them to accept these realities because they've not been taught this as children. And that's why the children behind us are so important, you see? And that's why the propaganda, the idea of being British and somehow better, okay, can be taught to a child and they can believe it because they don't know any better. You realize that you're simply a part of the human species. But somehow you might be better or separate from the masses. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think these are important lessons for us and why this station exists. Yeah. Why this platform exists and why it's important for us to be able to articulate real history. Okay, which is unfiltered through the propaganda you might encounter on the BBC, or the ITV or the Sky News. Okay, it's not until you have a monarch. I understand the next monarch wishes to be a monarch for the faiths, not simply a single faith. But I believe Prince Charles wishes to be. It'd be interesting to see if you can achieve that. But can he be a monarch for the people, not just English people?
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Another lesson, isn't there? And therefore, the society is able to develop some maturity and confidence about itself, And that's what, in theory, made America great. Because America is an amalgam of different peoples, And that's when the human species can show its genuine potential. But if you restrict it to a narrow band, you retard social development, and you have what we have today.
Yeah.
Not good. Now, I see that we may have a guest already in the studio. And let's see. Can I just ask our guest just to introduce themselves before I begin? Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear us?
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, good morning to you. Good morning. I know that yourself and a few others will be joining us. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. We're looking for them. This is live now. We're going out live. I always remind people, true African time. It's earlier, never later. It's always earlier. We're the original timekeepers. We won't be seduced by this other propaganda. But we'll welcome you now. Imam, is that right?
Ayman.
Oh, thank you for getting that right.
It's actually short for Aissatou Mansari.
Oh, the founder. Oh, I'm grateful. Oh, I'm grateful. I've got to say, and I don't mind saying this to the guest, that first of all, you may have watched my earlier programs, but I've learned as I get older, it's the women who are our true inspirators. Yeah, it's the women who are our true leaders. And I've read about you. I became far more excited. And now I'm meeting you in the flesh. I'm excited. I'm truly excited. And this show, of course, Ayman, is dedicated to translating words into action. And what you epitomize is translating words into action. And I read through your profile, studied your website and other details. I spoke to others in the community. Wow, I'm in the presence of royalty. I'm in the presence of royalty. I give praise to you. I give praise to you.
Thank you very much for having me and the rest of the team.
It is our pleasure, our pleasure. And I see that we have your erstwhile dedicated supporter and person. I can see Patrick is there. I think I can see Patrick.
Yeah, I'm here. Just log on.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
And of course, and I remind people that we as Africans are truly spiritual people. And I think through the energies, through Patrick to yourself, Aman. You know, that's how this happened. And when I read through the details, I had other guests lined up. You were first.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you were first. But this is why the show exists, for people like yourselves. Okay. And what we want to do this morning is have you outline to us the journey. Okay. Now I talk a great deal. Okay. So I'm going to hand you over to my co-presenter, Lady Chelsea. And what Lady Chelsea exemplifies, and you understand, both of you, is the next generation. Okay. Sometimes we oldies have got to get out of the way and allow the next generation to flourish. You understand? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get out of the way because I know she has some really searching questions for you. And this will allow us to fully understand the journey and how we can contribute to encouraging the listeners to give you both not only moral support, financial support, and where they can, actual physical support as well. Because initiatives such as your own must succeed. It must succeed. And whatever we can do to enable you to succeed, we commit ourselves to you. I hope that helps.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that a lot.
I'm going to hand over to Lady Chelsea.
Yeah, I'll start. So hi to both of you. Good morning. Hope you're both well. I just want to allow you to maybe to have a quick introduction, both of you, I don't know who wants to go first, just to let everyone know who you are. And the first question would be like, what is Make Our Leaders Foundation? What is it?
I'll go first, Patrick. Hello, everyone.
Go on.
My name is Aishatu Mansari. I'm the CEO of Make Our Leaders Foundation. And I'll hand you over to Patrick Pratt.
Yeah,
hold on a moment. That was much too brief. Sorry.
That was too brief.
We want to hear a bit more from you. We want to hear a bit more from you.
You'll hear a bit
you're not getting
more
away with that.
I just want to give Patrick the opportunity of introducing
Patrick,
himself.
don't worry. No, I said earlier, I started by saying it, I made sure to emphasize it. It's the women who are true leaders, inspired leaders. You go to any organization, I know Patrick would agree with me, particularly community organization, it's the women who are the backbones, yeah? So I want to hear a bit more from you before going to us men, because us men can talk forever, please.
Yeah, just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'll go again. My name's Aishatu Mansari. I am the CEO of Make Our Leaders Foundation. I'll talk you through the journey where it all started. Make Our Leaders Foundation is a registered charity in the UK, and it's also registered in Sierra Leone. But this idea was born in Sierra Leone. We went on holidays a few years ago, and we went to a village where we saw school-going children, not in school, but rather out doing labor in the community. And then we asked a few questions. And then, we started understanding the needs, why they're not in school. And then we also saw children. I bet we all know in Africa, it's about 30-something degrees, in terms of, it's really hot out there.
Yeah.
And then we saw these children wearing winter jackets and things like that. So a few people were laughing. And then I was like, instead of us laughing, why not, when we go back, try and start collecting used clothing, old books and things like that, and send for these children. Let us make a difference in their lives rather than, us, laughing them wearing winter jackets in that heat. So that's how this charity was born. That's where the idea of setting up this stemmed from. So we made a few inquiries. We did a needs assessment, and we understand the reason why these kids were not in school. Most of their parents could not afford to send them to school. So we came back, we talked to a few like-minded people, and we decided we're going to help them. We're a self-funded charity. We pay monthly contributions, and then it is from those monthly contributions that we send back to Sierra Leone to pay their school charges. We buy them school essentials from here, and we ship from time to time. Remember, some of those kids we took when they were in year 3. And we're proud to say in September, a few will be sitting, 3 of them will be taking their exams to go to university. So we're very proud, you know, we've come a long way with them. We're very proud. And in the midst of that, we just look in different areas, you know, and then where we saw a need, we basically, where we see the need, we come in. Like, I think it was 2 years ago, just before Corona, we went to visit a child in the main government hospital. And when we went there came another need. The children in the, well, basically all of them in the children's ward were struggling for food. It's not like the hospitals here wherein they'll give breakfast, lunch, or dinner. No, the parents have to provide, and most parents cannot afford to provide them a meal. So we came back and we were like, this is very crucial. This is important, you know. As I speak to you, we've just shipped food items because we promised them that we'll take over the breakfast for the ward, the children's ward. So we've shipped food items enough to last them for 6 to 8 months that would cover breakfast for those kids. So this is Small Foundation. We don't have we're all working people, but we just saw a need and we decided to help. So that's where we are now. That's the journey, Small Foundation, where we started. And then we're just hoping, you know, to do more to change lives. We're basically in education, supporting children in education, supporting children in need, basically. And we're also trying to put a container together at the moment, full of educational essentials, stationaries, wheelchairs, but that we're doing in partnership with another charity in Poland. So this is us.
Okay. No, that was amazing to hear. That was a lot of things that you've achieved and you've done already. So it was really nice to hear. Patrick, if you wanted to add anything. There's a lot.
I think Isaac just said it all. Well, let me give you a brief introduction about myself. My name is Patrick Pratt. I've known Isaac for the past 25 years. It's a long time. We went to the same university back home, and obviously we sailed through the same journey to actually come and study out here. And some of us are shipwrecked when we came here. We went to pursue education. Then obviously I diverted my course, joined the army. So I served the army here for like 9 years. So instead of me becoming an accountant, I became a combat infantry technician. So I left the army in 2012. Worked for the Olympics. Worked in several organizations with the security sector, and knowing as a tool, helping humanity. Then we started talking about doing this charity that we call Make Our Leaders Foundation. So 2013, we actually launched Leaders Foundation program at the project, and then we started working with the kids back home. And it is very, very disheartening to say Africa is what it is. There's no I can't say that. I believe there's love, but it's just how it is that kids are just kind of left out. So we actually looked at the need. We we cannot fulfill all of Sierra Leone. So, but what like as I just mentioned, what we do, we identify a need, and then we see if we can tackle it or we can help out. Then we move to another province, so we move to like and so on and so forth. So we started with one of our province called Cambia district, and now we're doing a library, which is still unfinished. But as time goes on, we'll give you the projects as it stands at the moment.
Yeah.
And we are ensuring that the kids get school materials at every September, which is the start of the academic year, like school accessories and stuff like that. I am the director of operations, and I believe I'm trying my utmost best to make sure that we meet some of our demands. Launching out, going out to other NGOs that want to partner with us so that we can help humanity at the end of the day. So I met with a group called Yogas on LinkedIn, and it was difficult to penetrate. I started talking to them, but they didn't even want to know where Sierra Leone is. They didn't even know where Sierra Leone is in the first place.
Oh, wow.
And but as I'm very, very persistent. I don't give up. I don't give up easily
That's
at
good.
all.
That's good.
Yeah. So I pressed, and one I say immediately they start talking to me. I'm a very likable person. Immediately they start talking to me. I will cajole them. I will make sure I bring them on board. So finally I got them on board, and now they even know Sierra Leone more than me, because some of the researches that they do about Sierra Leone, I don't even know about it.
Yeah.
But it is good. It is good. They came on board. They went. They saw the massive need of education. They saw the need for the health sector, and basically everything that is going wrong in Africa. So they decided to launch a program called Pencils for Africa. Initially, they started with 2 schools in Poland, but as the project became wider and wider and wider, they've got more than 35 schools that were bombarding them with all sorts of school materials. So at the moment, we just launched the GoFundMe campaign so that we can ship those stuff to children that actually need them, because all the items are just sitting in the store, the storage.
Yeah.
But the kids need them, because by September they'll be back. They'll be back in school. So that's exactly why the GoFundMe campaign is being launched, and we, by the grace of God, being meeting Martin as well. Martin is because I aspire for council of my borough, but obviously I don't think I'm super ready for that yet. But I think Martin has been on my case that no, we can go for it. But I need to fulfill 1 or 2 of the criteria first before even going for that big position. I need to be committed. Yeah. I'm a committed person when I want to do something. But with Martin by my side as well, because he always called me to find out what's going on, our family life and stuff like that. I believe we'll get there at some point.
No, of course.
We'll get there at some point. And me being part of this meeting today, I believe it's a blessing. Meeting you guys, obviously the old team, I believe it's just a blessing for Make Our Leaders Foundation, and we hope and pray that at the end of this the relationship will continue and will continue to go from strength to strength. And that's about me, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was a lot. Thank you.
And let me
that's fine.
It's good that Patrick said that, and as I'm sure the leader, founder here, Arman, will say that if you believe you could do something, it will happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
See? I need to see that. Yeah. I said she's our leader. Without a shadow of a doubt, and indeed the leader of this station is named now. He was supporting children in Sierra Leone as well for many years, to a certain extent that he's now become a chief. He's known as Chief Okombobai, okay? He may well join us at some point today, you know, and I hope he does. And he will tell you a great deal of the commitment that he's made to your country. You know, he's a tremendous person. And you know, Patrick, he speaks just like you. There are very few people who use the words uttermost best. He uses that word regularly. You know, I thought, wow. You know, so again, this is a spiritual connection. This is a spiritual connection. And I'm convinced that there's a reason why we are all meeting. And I'm looking at Ayman, and I can see why that is so. I believe there are many great things yet to come from you both. Many great things to come from you both. Anyway, I'm going to hand back to the future. Go back to Lady Chelsea. She has another question for you. Here you are.
This one, sorry. Sorry, I'm struggling today. I think you answered it a little bit, but I don't know if you just make it clear just so people kind of understand what kind of issues are going on in Sierra Leone. So I was just wanting to know, like, what are the most common needs or problems you see in children's lives out there? There's a lot.
There's a lot, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Children or people cannot afford 3 square meals a day. And of course, if the majority of the people can't afford it, then, you know, if I can't afford it, I can't give my kids. Yeah. So that's a major problem, food. When we visit the province and hear these stories, you just want to come back and do as much as you can. Children go to school without food, and then the schools are not providing meals. So at some point they stop going to school because they said, I can't basically, most of the stories are we can't concentrate because there's no food. Yeah. So food is a major problem. And then the healthcare system is a mess. The government is doing what they're doing, but we believe we as a people also have a responsibility, because if you want change, it needs to start from you. You don't wait for the government to do. Change starts from you. So the little that you do will make a difference in somebody's lives. And that's exactly what we're doing. The children in the children's ward at the Cottage Hospital in Sierra Leone, they're malnourished. It's sad to see the states, the state they were in when we went in December. To a point, you're left with no option but to come back and say, you know, I need to contribute. I need to make a difference, you know, in the lives of these children, because they don't deserve whatever they're going through. So the problem is immense. It's great, but we can only do, you know, what we're able to do, and basically highlighting the most important, which is food and education, or say health and education. So those are the 2 areas we're really focusing on, health and education of these children.
What about the local support for the initiative? How are the parents responding? You know, how do they help you to deliver on the ambition that children have enough food and indeed adequate healthcare? How are parents responding? Do they respond, or they just leave you with the children? How do they respond?
I'm going to answer this question using 2 examples. Okay. I'll give you an example from the educational aspect and then the health aspect. Okay, let me start with education. When we started helping these children, we had a meeting with their parents to say, we're not just going to come give free handouts. It's a partnership. We're going to be working together. We're providing the materials. We're providing the support. We're providing all the necessary school essentials that they need. But you also have a part to play. That is, you ensure the children have time to study. You need to create time, because what they do is give them, send them out to trade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When they come from school, instead of sitting down, going over their work from, you know, the previous day or the day, they send them out to trade.
Wow.
And the reason they said they were sending them out to trade was because they needed that money to pay the school charges and to buy the uniforms. So we said, that's fine. That's where we're working in partnership. We're taking that burden off you, which means you don't send them out to trade. We're providing the essentials. So we're expecting you to make sure when they come from school, they go over their school's work. Because if they do not make the grade at the end of the year, we'll drop them off the program.
Right.
So if you have your kid at heart, you want them to develop, you want them, you know, to be successful, let's work in partnership. This is us and you per se. It's not just, we're not just coming out giving free handouts and then say, okay, you go. So if they don't make the grades at the end of the day, we're taking them off the program. So it's us, the parents and the children, because them as well, they were in the meeting. We're like, if you want this to happen, you need to work hard.
Yes.
If you want your circumstances or your situation to change, you also have a responsibility. Your responsibility is to listen, study, work hard, and make the grade. So on that leg, the cooperation from the parent, you know, I mean, I can say it's superb. They're working with us, and come September, we have children that would be going to university. Remember, we took on board these children from year 3. And come September, they'll be going to university.
Wow.
That's one leg of it. Now, let me come to the health.
Yes.
When it comes to health, really, there is not much we can do with the parents, because remember, these children are coming into the hospital. They're coming into let's say the children will be there a week or 2 a month based on the illness, you know, based on, you know, whatever the diagnosis is or whatever is keeping them in hospital. So we don't have that much interaction with the parents. So we cannot work with the parents on that leg. But what we can do is to just provide breakfast. Make sure at least we give them that first meal of the day, because we believe, you know, if they're well fed, then the medication will work, you know. I mean, without food, the medication will not work. You need the food for the medication to work. So on the health leg, there's not much interaction with the parents, really. We interact more with the nurses, you know, and the workers in the hospital.
Well done, well done, well done. Gosh, my admiration goes out to you. My admiration goes out to you. Oh, give me,
thank you. We're blessed. We're blessed to be here. Yeah. Thank you very much for having us here.
Certainly. I'm just conscious of time, and I believe we may have a caller on the line. And are you both happy to take a question or two from callers? Would that be all right?
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Now let's see if I can see a caller. Is Naima on the line? I can see her somewhere on the line. She might want to contribute in a second. I've been keeping her waiting, you see. So, Naima, do you want to say something now? Okay, don't worry. That's fine. That's fine. That's why she'll come back in a second. If I can just go to Patrick for a quick moment. So first of all, bearing in mind what's been described, okay, and I've seen the GoFundMe site, okay, you've asked for a very modest amount of £600, Okay, very modest amount. Do you believe that you will reach that 600? On what would you like us to do?
I think it should be £8,000 we're asking
Oh,
for.
8,000, is it?
£8,000. Yeah.
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 Oh, 8,000. Oh, right. Why did I see 600 then? Oh, maybe I must have been looking at something else in that case. Okay. It's £8,000. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you do with the £8,000? I suppose the question I'm putting to you.
Okay. £8,000 will cover the shipping cost from Poland to Sierra Leone. The shipping from Poland to Sierra Leone, we estimated £5,000, because when we had the chat with our partners back in Poland, and the estimate they came out with was just over £5,000, and that will include obviously the amount of pallets that the container will take, the shipping cost from their own port to Sierra Leone, and obviously when the container is in Sierra Leone, it needs to be cleared, and the remaining £3,000, that what we want to use to obviously clear the container, put everything in the storage before we start the distribution to schools. So the £8,000 per se, yes, I mean it's a huge amount, but that will fulfill all of what we want to do with this container. And if there's anything more, we'll have to go in the Make Our Leaders Foundation COFA to see what we can get, or we have to task individuals to help, so that when we want to do another project in Poland or elsewhere, people will be there to support us. And whatever we do in terms of this particular venture or project, we will make sure that whosoever donates to that project will see categorically clear what we did with the funds. Make Our Leaders Foundation is very, very transparent when it comes to finance. When it comes to using people's money, we make sure that we give proper accountability for what you've actually donated. So the £8,000, like I said, that exactly what it will cover: the shipping cost from Poland to Sierra Leone, and then obviously getting the container from the port in Sierra Leone to its final destination.
Thank you. I see that we may have a call online, and with number ending 8378. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Good morning to you, my brother.
Good morning. Is this the chief?
It is, my brother. It is.
Chief Akambabai. And again, if I just emphasize to the listeners and our guests that Chief Akambabai is the leader and founder of Galaxy Radio. Okay, and he has a long association with Sierra Leone. And so I'm pleased that you've honored us with, I think, maybe your second call ever to my program, isn't it, huh?
You know something. It's wonderful. Sometimes I like to listen. And hear the views of your callers. I haven't even met your co-president, Lady Chelsea, but one day it will happen.
Yeah, one day.
It's a process. You've got two wonderful people at the moment, my brother. They are, they're inspiring. The inspiration that they're pouring over it, I've got goosebumps all over. The work that they're doing, it's so essential. The question that has been posed to them, it's enormous question, because they only can try and answer it to the best of their ability, but they won't be able to give the definitive answer to satisfy our listeners, and it even satisfy you and Lady Chelsea, because, for example, when you look at the hospital system in Sierra Leone, if you have got money, then okay, if you haven't got no money, there's no way to go. You go to some of these hospitals, and I'm telling you the honest truth, even to use someone to put a drip on, they use a bit of stick to hang the drip on for those in the hospital.
Oh yes.
Sometimes
my
you'll have to
gosh.
take your own bucket of water to some of these hospitals. You'll have to take your own bedding to some of these hospitals for your loved one. So it's an enormous job they've taken on. The school, I can tell you, I've got 2 schools. One I support and one with my name, Pakumbabai. First was Bonga Tete, and now it's been changed to Pakumbabai. One in Porto Loco, in Loco Masama, and one in Cambia.
Oh,
And they have
Oh, right. So it's responded positively
Yeah.
to you.
actually
Good.
working in Cambia.
Yes.
The library we're constructing is in Cambia.
my sister. I
Oh,
know
wow.
exactly
Look
where
at
you are.
that. See, I told you the ancestors. Huh? Go on, my chief. Go on.
You know, so it's an enormous, ginormous task that they have taken on. And one of the things that what they have started, they can't finish it. And they won't be able to finish it. I tell you why. Because they now been committed in such a way that the more they want to do, it's the more demand it will place on them. And I find that myself, for example, I work intensively with another group of people that has not been looked into is the disabled people. And I'm working with them at the moment. Every year, this is the only year at the moment that I haven't sent something, a barrel or 2 for the disabled people. Last year, just when I came back last year in the middle of the madness, I've sent over 6 wheelchair and 250 Zimmer frame that I've sent over. So the work in Sierra Leone is ginormous. Not saying, to me personally, the government, we need to kind of really take our people out of the politics, because our people get involved into politics and the politics are not helping them. Brother Martin, my brother, in Sierra Leone, it's different from what happened here. For example, you have got your party who will be pointing out what needs to be done. In Sierra Leone, politics is totally different from what the politics are here. So when I go there and I see what is happening on ground, then you ask yourself, what do I get involved into? Because there's so much things to get involved into. The other thing that we need to do, the people that we're working with, we have to make sure the joint enterprise that we have with them is kosher in such a way that we don't send the stuff to them and then the stuff disappear, because that can happen. And in some circumstances, it has happened where things that you send, people will take it and it doesn't go to who it's supposed to go to. So the people who we have got on the station now, I would love to link with them to have some details so we'll be able to do some groundwork, you know, where we can work together. Because right now, in my house, right now, at my back garden, I'm trying to work with some people, the disabled people, as I'm saying, and I've got about 6 sewing machines just to help them to do something for themselves. So if I can work with them, it will help me so much so we can pass things over. And I mean, gosh, I am a chief in Loco Masama, and the people in Loco Masama is not getting as much as they should be getting from me because I am working with another team in Lunge. So it is a ginormous task, and these people, they're super. They are super. The next thing I need to point out to my listeners, Sierra Leone and other African countries are now becoming brain drained. And I can explain that to you. As hard as it is for parents to send their children to school, or even to go to the hospital to buy drugs when they haven't got the money, it's hard. And so some of the children will drop out of school. Yes, it is true what they're saying. But the children who manage to go to school and to go get the educational skill, there is no infrastructure to actually support them when they leave education, when they leave university. And sometimes all they have to do, they want to leave the country. So all of what skill and education background that they take from the country is been passed on to another country. This is something that we have to help and stop. So the country has now been brain drained. Nurses are leaving, doctors are leaving, graduates are leaving. We have to find a way to keep these people in the country so they can help to build the economy of the country. I can only ask these people, if I am wrong, I am right in what I have just said.
Let's hear from them, my chief. Let's hear from them. Satu, would you?
I can understand why he was crowned chief. He had
and why I'm proud to say my chief.
I can understand. He has a wealth of knowledge, so much about Sierra Leone. For him, he has the free will to give, to explain Sierra Leone like that. For me, I tend to pick my words. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did.
When it comes to me talking about the government and things, I actually pick my words. I just want to concentrate on the work we're doing.
Yes.
But like he said, the work is huge and his knowledge about Sierra Leone is massive. So I understand why he's been crowned chief. And we're not working far from his chiefdom, but Loco is not far from Cambia, and we're actually constructing the library in Cambia. So I salute you, Chief, and we'll try. The work is huge, but we'll do as much as we can do. We'll do our best. We just want to make our own contribution, whatever we can do to change the lives of ordinary Sierra Leoneans. We're happy to do. And then you raised a point about making sure whatever we do get to the beneficiaries. We have a team in Sierra Leone and we monitor strongly, and we're happy with the progress because they do report. They send us pictures and videos of the job they're doing. And most times we also go there. We go there once a year or sometimes twice, depending on the projects that we have. So when we have a project, we sort of go there to execute. There was once we got curtains, hospital curtains from Great Ormond Street Hospital. We went there, we did the distribution, we took pictures and videos because we have to feedback. Whatever we collect from the public, we feedback because that's the only way we grow. That's the only way, more people will come on board to help, because there are a lot of charities in operating. But then, do they actually get to the beneficiaries? That's the question. So we make sure we follow up, and then we have pictures and videos to show the details of our work.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And Patrick, did you want to respond?
Yes, Chief. Like as I just said, it looked like you even know Sierra Leone more than me. I'm super impressed with what you're doing in Sierra Leone, to say, and obviously we will work in partnership with you. Make Our Leaders Foundation is very multicultural. We are not just working in Sierra Leone. Even in the UK, we do our own bits and bobs to ensure that we help humanity at the end of the day. But like I said, as I just mentioned, we've got a team back in Sierra Leone, a very, very, very good team. And whatever, there's no fear about where is my stuff gonna go? Is it gonna reach the beneficiaries? Because that's the when we started this charity, the first thing that we have at heart and we have in mind is to ensure that whatever donation that people give reach the beneficiary. People are meant to be benefiting from those items. They actually get the items, and they should benefit from those items. We've got one case that one particular kid that is outside our bubble, but Make Our Leaders Foundation, we extend the love to every other person. As long as it is to help humanity, we will go out there and make sure we do it. And this was brought to our knowledge by the organization in Poland that we partner with. They are called Yogas. Somebody sent a disabled child that the parents want the child to go to school, but obviously she doesn't have like a wheelchair, on obviously all the basic needs and all the school and materials to go to school. So we are undertaking that venture as well. We've got the wheelchair for the kid, and that will be part of the container that we're shipping back in Sierra Leone. So Chief, you come on board. we will go with you, and you are 110% assured of a quality time, and you will know exactly where your items or donation is going. You will see physically that the beneficiaries are happy to receive whatever donation or whatever items that we bring you from here. Yeah.
Give praises, my brother. As I said, I will take your details from Brother Martin, our Counselor Martin, and I will get in touch. I will liaison with you, brother, your brother and your sister, and I will come on board so we can work as a team collectively. No problem at all.
Wow.
Thank you
very much, Chief.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
Thank you, my chief. Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring us with your call this morning and giving purpose to this program. Thank you.
My pleasure, my brother. Thank you. Give thanks.
Blessing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow. There you are, the chief himself running in this. I'm so proud. I will, after the program, I'll share the link with you. And he's been working in the country now for a good few decades, and
he has a wealth of knowledge about failure.
Totally dedicated, totally dedicated. And gosh, there are far too many people who see abject poverty and then walk on by. You chose not to walk on by. You chose to care. And that's far more challenging than simply walking on by. Because once you care, then you feel, gosh, the needs of those people, the needs of the children is just so profound. That's why I knew instantly, Patrick, instantly. You sent those details through to me. Within a matter of seconds, I'd made that decision. I spoke with Lady Chelsea and I said, look, these are inspired Africans, These are true human beings, Oh my gosh. And you notice the words you use. You don't say African, you say humanity.
Yes. Yeah. Help humanity.
Humanity. That's a profound observation, if I may say so. Humanity. You disregard so-called race or ethnicity or religious affiliation. They're simply human beings, And if human beings are in need, we are obliged to help. Humanity. Thank you. You honor us for being here. You honor us for being here. I'm going to try not to cry, you see, because it's such a wonderful occasion. It is such a wonderful occasion. So I'm just conscious. Let me, if I may, I'm going to hand it back to Lady Chelsea to one more question, and then I'm going to give us some wrapping up statements. So, Lady Chelsea, you're last.
Okay. I suppose I think the most important thing to ask is that where can we find your details and how can we donate to the GoFundMe page?
Who was responding?
Anybody, please. Sorry.
Chelsea, if I can.
Yeah.
You want to answer that or should I go? The
can.
GoFundMe page. Okay, we do it simultaneously. The GoFundMe page. I've sent the link to Martin.
Yes.
And obviously you can donate through our website as well. We got a website. I've sent that to Martin as well, and obviously after this program we can exchange numbers as well. I would physically send that details to you as well. So the GoFundMe page is on our Facebook Make Our Leaders Foundation. It's on our personal Facebook page. It's everywhere now, so it's easy to donate.
And for the listeners, it is www.makeourleaders.org. So for the listeners, if you want to find out about Make Our Leaders Foundation, the website is www.makeourleaders.org.
Okay, that's great.
And you've got the target for the GoFundMe, and of course, you said in terms of accounting for the money, etc. Do you produce sort of annual reports, or do you put excerpts on your website to show this particular round of funding, how that money is spent? Because I found that this is a question that keeps coming up in earlier programs. It's could we give this announcement, but listeners didn't ask the question. Well, we don't know if the money was spent, how it was spent, or did they need more, or did they have too much? How do you ensure that this transparency? Yeah. So, will you use your website as your, as it were, your shop front, as it were?
We have our annual reports being done by a certified accountant every year, and it's available to view. It's available for the public. In terms of this is the first GoFundMe that we've organized. So basically, at the end of it, if we reach our target, we'll come back to the public to outline how the money was spent. And if even we don't, whatever we raise, we'll come back and say, this is what we raised. And this is, what we do with it, what we do with the amount that we raise, because basically if we don't meet our targets, we'll have to find other sources of income, say maybe task ourselves or meet local partners or sponsors just to get this container in Sierra Leone and get the stuff distributed. So whatever we raise now from the public will come back to the public to outline in details what the money was used for.
What I'm going to do, if you're permissible, at the end of this exercise, we'll get you back in again, and we can provide give you maybe a 30-minute slot to give an update to the listeners, a progress update. Because obviously the chief will be very interested, and I suspect he will require me to do this anyway. So
we'll appreciate that. We're happy to come back.
Thank you. I think that's the way to do this. So
yeah.
the GoFundMe website, of course, I'm on there now. It's easy to find yourself. I believe if you put in the search in GoFundMe, is it under Make Our Leaders? Be under Make Our Leaders? Would that be under?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to just test it now and make sure, because I want to make sure that those who are listening can go directly to the GoFundMe website and find you to make their contributions today. And if they can make a contribution today, it does work. I've just tested it. So if you go to GoFundMe.com, so that's www.gofundme, GoFundme.com, and go to search and just simply type in Make Our Leaders. And you'll see it will come up as part of the results. You'll easily see it. Send school supplies to children in Sierra Leone, and have Patrick's name quoted. So that's how you could do that. And I want to encourage listeners. I know there are quite a few listeners observing this. I want to encourage you. Every little matters. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how small your contribution. It is a contribution. And that contribution could save lives. It would most certainly make a difference. Okay? You heard what this article said. The children go to school starving. Yeah? But the school doesn't provide food. So what happens? After a period, the children drop out of school. Yeah? That is poverty. And if poverty is so acute, the child cannot learn, then we have a negative cycle. We want to break that cycle. And where there's a will, there is a way. Yeah.
There's a way.
Yeah, please be. Can I invite you both now to just make your closing statement? We've got maybe 15 minutes left. So I'm going to start with Patrick. Then we can hear from you sort of immediately thereafter as our leader. Okay, Patrick, please.
Yeah, Martin and Chelsea, like I said, I'm very, 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 very much happy to be part of this program. And as a closing statement, this is the change, and I'm so happy that you guys have already embraced the change. So our listeners out there, like Martin just said, every little counts. Come out in your dozens. Donate. There is even if it's £1, that will mean a significant. It will be of a significant blessing to some kid out there. There is this negative thing about charity, but I want to assure you all that Make Our Leaders is all positivity. Everything that we do is transparent, and we will be accountable to you. Whatever donation or whatever item that you give, we'll make sure that the beneficiaries get those items and they make use of them. Once more, we want to be part of this at all times. As long as I'm free, I'll be on board. Then we will definitely sail through this ship and we'll get to our final destination. Thank you.
Please,
Thank you.
can I hear from you now? Our leader, because you and Chief Akababai talk so much alike, you know, so please, give us your final words.
I want to thank you for having us on this program. We really appreciate it. It's a blessing for us to be on this platform. So we thank you very much for having us. And to the public, we want to appeal to you to support this venture. There's poverty in Sierra Leone. The task is huge. We cannot do it by ourselves. We can only do it with the support of like-minded people. Please support this program. Let's get these essentials to Freetown. It's much needed. Please go to www.makeourleaders.org, or you can go to our GoFundMe page, search Make Our Leaders Foundation and make your donation. Every little helps. And then please, we're just asking that you be part of this so that we can bless the lives of the children in Sierra Leone together. Thank you very much.
We are honored.
Yeah, thank
to
you.
be in your presence. We are honored. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
You
Thank
hope,
you so much.
you know, to come back to
Martin,
this
Martin, just one quick one. When do you think you're gonna organize the next one?
Oh, I like him. I like him. We're depending upon your time frame. You see, if you say to us, look, we've now raised the £8,000. We've now delivered to Freetown, and this is what we've done. And we have pictures, and we may even get connection in Sierra Leone as well next time, you know, so you can speak firsthand to some of the beneficiaries. That makes it really interactive. So I'm excited by the prospect of getting you back in, but we're depending upon your time frame. But we'll talk between now and then anyway, and the chief certainly will talk to you. So we can deliver. So it's up to you. You tell me. Forgive me, Lady Chelsea. I don't mind me speaking for you here. We give you priority.
Yeah.
We're grateful. We're grateful.
All right, we give you priority. So you tell us when you are ready, then you tell us and we'll get you in. Okay, is that all right?
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Thank you so much. I'm going to let you both go now, but thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Chelsea.
I'm going to be monitoring the GoFundMe today. We want to increase that funding for you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
God bless you.
You too. Bye.
God bless you. You guys have a lovely day.
Same to you. Same to you. Blessings to you. Blessings. Wow, Lady Chelsea. Inspired, huh? Absolutely
very
inspired. Absolutely inspired. It gives us a few minutes. I did want to give a further announcement with regards to the Reparations March Committee and the event that will start in Brixton tomorrow, which is the annual event, which is the traditional event that is to the March to Parliament for reparations. Now, I would invite, if there is an organizer listening to this program who wishes to give further details about the preparation for tomorrow, I would cordially invite them to call in, and we will be happy to give you a few minutes to give further promotion to the march tomorrow. It's an important event. It's one of those on our annual calendar, and one that I most certainly will be participating. But again, there's a call out to the organisers or anyone who's connected with the organisers who can provide additional detail. Feel free to ring in using telephone number 0203 481 5240. You're asked to enter a PIN number. So of course it's PIN number 3707 33 43 97, followed by the # sign, vertical and horizontal symbol on your keypad. Okay. So anyone connected with the March Committee, feel free to call in. We want to give further promotion to the March tomorrow. We want to ensure that we have a really good turnout tomorrow. Okay. And of course, the March is being supported by the Global African Congress, who have always supported the March, and will of course have the usual banner presence as well. Or indeed, if there's a member of the Global African Congress who's got connection with the March Committee, feel free also to call in as well. It's an annual event which we want to give promotion to.
Okay.
Well, let's see, Lady Chelsea. Cool. I almost came to tears. I have to say, I had to control myself.
That's understandable. Yeah.
She described, started to describe abject poverty.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to the extent that children after school are having to hustle for money
work,
for the family.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and we if we don't invest in the children, there isn't a future.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no
We're
future.
doing a really big thing.
So I'm hoping that our listeners will be bold enough at least to make a small contribution
Yeah.
by
So
the
something.
GoFundMe. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the GoFundMe website, gofundme.com, and just type in the search "Make Our Leaders," and it will come up. You'll see it come up. So you know, let's do this. You know, it's such an important initiative.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, emphasizing it's why this program exists. You know, for just these types of initiatives, because without these types of initiatives, you know, the next generation will be much the poorer. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, next generation will be, and it'll be our fault. We can't blame them. We've got to blame ourselves, the elders, you know, who are responsible for bringing them into the world. You know, we have a duty to invest in children. You know, and we have a duty to ensure that young people can flourish and therefore take on the baton, you know, and take it forward to the next generation. It's mission critical. Yeah. And I do hope that listeners will give generously. Okay, I've checked out the charity. I've checked out, and I'm satisfied that I can endorse this particular organisation. You met two principal personalities. These are persons of good standing, and I give them my 100% support. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so for those of you in doubt, and you know I don't give support lightly. You know, those of you listening, you know.
And if not, you know, they said that they have their website and Facebook for everyone to see what they're doing, and information's on there if you're still in doubt. So
yeah, I think that's so important that that's heard, you know. But I just don't want anyone to feel coy about making that contribution. I see we have a caller with number ending 1206. We only have maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but good morning to you.
Morning, Brother Martin.
Good morning to you. How are you? You could call me the motivator right now, but it's okay.
Good morning, motivator.
Thank you. Alongside my colleague and co-host, Lady Chelsea. There you go.
good morning.
Good morning, Lady Chelsea. I won't shout in your ear.
It's okay. Thank you.
Now, are you going to share with us some information about tomorrow, Sister Joan?
Well, I was going to I was hoping other people would call, but I'm just going to tell a story about the march, which I just find the most unbelievable thing ever. I started going 5 years ago looking for answers to questions that I didn't even know that I had. And something drew me to the march, and I've never looked back. It did things for me that I needed. It was my food. And so it's more of a sentimental remark I'm making. And I remember, I was telling Abu, I remember going up to a man 5 years ago and saying, "What's that banner? What have you got on that banner?" And he said to me, and I said, "Who do you belong to?" And he was holding a banner, and he said, "The Global African Congress." And I said, "What's that?" And the irony is, I am part of the Global African Congress now.
Hold on.
So the story is that everyone should come, because it does something for everybody in individual ways. And apart from being a one big massive fan blocking up the road, apart from that, which I absolutely love, people should come. I know us at the Global African Congress are turning up at about 11.
Oh, wow.
And I look forward, of course, to seeing Empress Esther do, talk, which I always love. But I'm sure Sister Jendai will be there, Leo Mohammed. But this is just a rambling message, just about the fact that without that march, I wouldn't feel as whole as I do now, because it's the people I met during that march that have enabled me to become me. Sorry, I haven't got more to offer there, but I'm sure somebody...
That's fine.
Can I just double check, Sister Joan, where in Brixton would you all be meeting?
A Global African Congress will be meeting at the park bit.
Right. Okay. Park.
Which is down the road of at the down the road from Windrush Square. That's where we'll be meeting, and I'm going to check with Honourable Glenroy, but that's what he told me yesterday. He might be texting me now. But that's where we'll be meeting. But everybody else generally meets at Windrush Square, don't we? That's where it all kicks off.
That's right. But I understood that there might be slight modifications this year, but that's fair enough. We will all find each other. That's what matters. Right? There are enough people there. Now, Sister Joan.
I love that. We'll all find each other. That's got so many metaphors, that.
This is quite true. Now, Sister Joan, I'm going to say thank you. We've probably got less than a minute or so for the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, sharing that piece of information with us. Thank you so much, right? And thank you for your loyalty, Thank you, really thank you. I will speak to you later. We've got to have a chat.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Blessings to you. Blessings.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 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 Right. So, Lady Chelsea, there you are.
Yeah.
We put the call out. You've got a response. There you are. What was your impression the last minute or so we've got? What was your impression of today's show? What was your impression?
No, I was really impressed. I felt, that they really were genuine and that they cared, and it showed, and they're doing a lot. They said the issues that they're trying to help are really big, and, it's more than just the areas. They're just, the whole country kind of needs help, but they're starting and they're doing it, and very inspirational people.
Quite right. And of course, there are many highly qualified members of our communities who are not living in Sierra Leone or indeed Africa. We've got to invest.
Yeah.
If we don't invest, there is no future. Got to invest in Africa.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Take all the skills and wealth we acquire, we've got to invest. Those children are crying out for investment. That's what they're crying out for. Or we do ourselves a disservice. Okay, that's the cry. We've got to do better.
Yeah.
But there you are. You've got to sign out now. I can see how the callers are coming at 10 o'clock as usual. But I can't take that call, unfortunately. But Lady Chelsea, thank you very much for being a wonderful co-host. Oh, wonderful.
Oh, thank you. That's right.
I feel so much better now, you know?
Yeah.
So go forth and prosper, yeah? And I'll hopefully see you tomorrow as well, all right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Blessings to you and blessings to the listeners. Thank you for your listening ear, as the Chief would say. And we're honored by the Chief. Thank you, Chief, for calling in. Thank you so much.
All right.
Blessings to you all. Stay strong. And remember to give with love in your heart.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.
You seem good, you seem bad.